Hello, my name's Lynn Gould. I'm married to Alan Gould, and together we founded Butterfly Children's Hospices to develop a model of paediatric palliative care which would fit here in China. We started out with the intention of working within the system so that we could build good relationships with the government, because what we're doing is very new for this part of the world, and we wanted to get known and to also gain credibility for what we do. We opened the Butterfly Home in April 2010 with just 6 cots open, so we took 6 babies who were dying and worked with them, then gradually expanded to 12 cots. We've now got up to 15 children, and we will expand to 21 in the near future. But with just those 12 cots open, we've cared for 52 children. 29 have actually died and probably would have died in a different setting. 6 have been adopted and another 6 are waiting for adoption. We've got 1 out in foster care, and we've also got others who've gone to long-term care facilities. So it's a very mixed kind of job that we do. We do take dying children, but a lot of children just need simple care or even surgery that the orphanage can't get for them, and then they recover. What we started out to do was to build a model of care which could be replicated in other areas. That means that we've had to make sure that we have good training packages, we have written standards of care, that we make sure that our standards are kept very high, so that if other areas or other people want to work with us and develop a butterfly home in another city, they would have to work to our standards, and we would make sure that they were keeping to those standards. What we want to do is to be a beacon, to be a pioneering area that people can come and look at and aspire to. So it's really important that the Butterfly Home is a lovely place, and that we have happy, well cared for children and really good staff who actually love the children. When I first saw Finley, he was lying in a cot in the orphanage, a bright little boy but very sick, and he had very complex heart disease that the orphanage had been unable to get surgery done for. But we know doctors in Suzhou who are willing to attempt quite risky heart surgery, so we got him over to Suzhou and they did do the surgery. When he came back to us, he didn't know he was better, and he would just sit in his chair all day and he didn't do very much. Now he's a nearly 2-year-old who's running around into everything, goes to preschool and is waiting for adoption. Annie came to us when she had just been abandoned, maybe a week before, and was in a terrible state. Her back was completely arched. She was like a U shape with huge neck and shoulder muscles where she'd been in spasm. Her basic problem is cerebral palsy, but quite severe cerebral palsy. And so she was emaciated, covered in sores, couldn't eat anymore, and I honestly thought that Annie was going to die. We put a tube down to feed her, and we started to cuddle her and give her some medication to relax her a little bit. And within 4 months, that little girl learned to smile again. She was relaxed, she was able to sit better, and she knew her nannies. Now she's 3 years old. She is a very intelligent little girl, and she will have a long life expectancy. We've also prepared her adoption papers in the hope that somebody will be able to take on this little girl. She's just so lovely. Mark is a very sad little boy that actually he's one of the kids that makes me cry at night sometimes, because when he came to us he was about we think about 10 months old. He was having lots of seizures, his head was full of water, hydrocephalus, and his whole body was rigid where his brain was so severely damaged. Nothing seemed to work for quite some time, but then suddenly he started to be more conscious again. So we've now increased his feeding as he seems to be getting better. His body's more relaxed. He's going through that stage of waking up where he's in kind of a dreamlike state where he's not quite sure where he is. He cries quite a lot and quite distressingly sometimes. And we don't know what the future holds for this little boy. People with head injuries can make some quite remarkable recoveries, but we don't know with him whether he will or he won't. But whatever happens, he'll stay here and he'll just be loved and get the best care that we can possibly give him. And just hope that one day his life goes on and on getting better. People often ask me why we called it the Butterfly Home. And it's easy really, because the butterfly is so symbolic both in Eastern and Western culture, so it crosses those cultural boundaries, as well as being symbolic in palliative care. The butterfly represents transformations in life, which is of course what dying is about. It represents freedom, colour and life. And palliative care aims to give life even though a child might be dying. We try to get them to experience life every day in all its fullness and all its joy.
Hi, I'm Janine Basaraba, and I'm the director of the committee to open a hospice in Nanjing. We want to continue the good work started by Lynn under her direction and the direction of the Butterfly Hospice Foundation. We know that people in China care about children who are sick and who are at the end of their life. So we want to work with the government and local charities to promote both education and to help care for these children. We want to work with families in Nanjing who have children with terminal illnesses as well. We want to support them and help them during this difficult time. We know that in most countries, palliative care is supported both by charity and by the government. We'd like your support in helping us achieve this in Nanjing.
Ta-ta!